This is the Amazon 1 month overview reading for the month of June 2024. It's currently May 20th, 2024, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Amazon at the time of this reading, $183.54, that's USD. The shuffle video for the June reading was created on May 2nd, 2024 at 9:49 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the video playing in the lower left corner. The overall theme of behavior for Amazon in June is price swings. There's going to be notable price swings on a 1-year chart scale that'll stand out. We also revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity again on the scale of a 1-year chart. That revisiting of the support level will take place in a period of sideways rotation. There's also a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of sideways rotation. Either the sharp drop takes us to the revisiting or the sideways rotation is the revisiting, but it's in there, and that's within a period of price swing. So it may be that we see the low more than once, or it may be that we're revisiting an important low on a 1-year chart scale. Behavior around the high side, the Magus card indicates a significant trade opportunity and a notable amount of change on a 1-year chart scale taking us into the high. So we should see a pretty notable move to the upside into the high. And it looks like it'll probably form when we have a period of sideways rotation that ends with a fast sudden move higher. Behavior around the lowest low, we have a notable decline through multiple support levels taking us into the low. The low card also happens to be the June high card of the 2024 reading. So when I see something like that, interesting. A little difficult to read in this case, but the point being is that there's a cross-reading congruency there with the June high card, putting us right on track as far as the sequence of events of the 1 year. Now, I'm going to get into the day-by-day chart behavior as well as timing the highest highs, the lowest lows, and the best trade opportunities. But before I do all that, I just want to make sure you're aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. So it looks like after establishing support on the 31st, there's a rally, a pretty notable rally over the weekend. With the sideways fluctuating rally on the 3rd that precedes a decline. Looks like there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance on the 4th, and it'll be resistance, and it looks like we're gonna break through, but instead we turn around and we decline through key support on a multi-day scale. Trade opportunity there, I'll talk about in more detail on the paid version. On the 5th, we have a prominent peak on a 1 month chart scale. Also probably our highest high thus far. I left out that the 3rd and the 4th here. The 3rd and the 4th might be a lowest low for the month. The 3rd and the 4th might be a lowest low for the month. I'm seeing that in some of the other 1 months. It also might be over here on the 7th, but this is probably a highest high thus far here on the 5th. And there should be a speaker on the 5th, something that impacts Amazon, and it cannot be relied upon or trusted. There's 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level on the 5th. Looks like some pretty notable price swings. And on the 6th, we have a prominent peak as well as sideways S formation within a channel. So we decline from resistance to meet support, reverse off of the support, return all the way back to the resistance, reverse off that resistance, and return all the way back to that support, creating a sideways S formation. Now here on the 7th, this is a little interesting. It may be that there's a big drop overnight here on the 6th, and this unexpected move out of the drop, an unexpected move higher on the 7th, and it'll be a notable move to the upside. So a notable drop overnight, and then a notable move to the upside out of that drop there on the 7th. On the 10th, we have a cross-reading congruency. This is the early card of the June cluster of the 1 year. The Sun card indicating a notable move to the upside. It looks like that continues into the 11th, where we actually have a breakout on a multi-day scale. This is probably a breakout through wherever we failed to break through here on the 4th, 5th, or it might even be higher. On the 12th, there's a intentional fake out or shakeout, some sort of tricky chart behavior intended to make us do the wrong thing. There's also correlation to the Queen of Discs, so very likely we're revisiting a support level here that was recently a past opportunity with a period of sideways rotation and probably a sharp drop that's the fake out of some kind. But on the cusp of the 12th, 13th, there should be some sort of peak and a trade opportunity, a U-shaped dip that forms. So we decline off of that peak and then probably return back to a similar price level towards the end of the day or maybe on the 14th. The 14th is a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden fire and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. There's also some possibility of a prominent low here. It was pretty hard to pinpoint the low, guys, but my sense is it's most likely over here in the first week. There is some possibility of it here on the 14th as well, but it's much stronger over here in the first week. Now, I'm talking about the paid version, guys. If you're interested in supporting the channel, paid version is a really great way to get back to the channel. Matter of fact, before we go any further, let's take a look and see how we did in April. I know April, this wasn't our best reading. I think we had kind of the highs and the lows were actually backwards, which happens occasionally. That's why not everything in the reading could be accurate, and then most of it will be, but it could be something important like that. So not my best reading, but when we boil it down to the day-by-day chart behavior, things look pretty solid. We had a lowest low thus far here on the 2nd, and it looks like it was really on the 1st. Might have almost come back to it on the 2nd. And then we have this notable drop. On the 2nd, we have a lowest low, and you can see how that took place. There's a lowest low there thus far, so that was pretty solid. On the 4th, we had a pretty big move. That's that death card. Unexpected move to the upside on the 5th. On the 3rd, we had a move to the upside. This is all pretty solid. And then we get onto the 8th. The 8th marks off, in this case, was marking off a price level that we're going to sell off from pretty notably. We do end up going a little bit higher a few days later, but this was pretty solid for a unicursal hexagram energy because from here, we just have a little bit more, but we end up declining pretty notably. Pretty solid there. And then this arrowhead is actually, I'm finding this arrowhead more and more frequently pointing out a high or a low, and it looks like that's what it was doing here, pointing out on the 10th, 11th. On the 11th here, a high. There's also a pretty notable low there that took place on the 10th. Wasn't quite a lowest low, but it was a pretty significant low thus far for the month. And then we have a highest high here on the 16th. It looks like we were a little bit late. But there's that full card on the 16th, or excuse me, on the 17th. So for the 17th, we decline. Look at this decline. So this 17th here is that full card opportunity. And there's a significant decline, which is that universal energy, taking us into a trough there on the 19th. We have that trough. And this is where it gets a little haywire because I didn't see a lowest low. But I was also having difficulty determining where the highest high was for this one. So not my best work. Even the trade's not so profitable. Very rarely are the trades not profitable. So this was the trades would have been profitable, but I feel like I probably read them wrong. So there was opportunity to open up a short on the 11th as well. So that would have worked out. You could have closed that on the 17th. That would have worked out. Open up a short position on the 17th and close it on the 18th. That would have worked out. On the 22nd. On the 22nd, I would have advised to open up a long position and then close a long position the following day. So that would have worked out pretty well too. So many of these trades would have been solid, even though we get the high and the low backwards, which, I mean, that doesn't happen very often, but I put it up here, guys, because I want everybody to understand I got nothing to hide. My accuracy is far superior than anything out there. So, you know, it's important that I put, when I do something, when I have a fail like this, it's important that you guys see that, because otherwise you do dumb ththings like bet your house on one trade because I was right 5 times in a row. Like, I'm wrong sometime, guys. Remember that. This is an example. With that said, guys, the majority of those trades were still profitable. If you're interested in the paid version, it's a really great way to support the channel. What you get in the paid version is information you won't find anywhere else, as far as highest highs, lowest lows, what type of chart behavior to look for as far as entry and exit into and out of the general timing of those highs and lows, and then price level information whenever we're able to extrapolate that as well. All of that in the paid version, well ahead of the market. We're running roughly a 95% accuracy right now, guys, a 95% accuracy. So with that said, you get the paid version here under hover over our services on our website, tarotfortraders.com. Click on As a Meta Post, scroll down to monthly subscription, click here to order. You can subscribe to just Google or any of these stickers individually, or you can subscribe and get the paid version of all of them for the all paid monthlies of predictions. It also gives you access to the one-offs when people order custom monthlies. You get access to those as well. And there's usually at least a couple of customs every month. So thank you to everybody that goes ahead and does that. Really great way, again, to support the channel and show your appreciation. And you guys are really the core foundation of support for the channel. Not to mention, it's also the most popular subscription on the channel. All right, guys, let's get back into it. All right, so on the 17th, we have a rally that ends, that kind of like ends on the same day. So we start off this way, and then we turn on, and we go like that, right? I don't know how to say it. It's like an upside down U shape almost. But there should be price swings there on the 17th, and it looks like the rally actually takes us into a highest high towards the end of the day or on the cusp. So it looks like the following day on the 18th, there's a highest high here somewhere around the 17th, 18th, and maybe that it's both days, but hard to say. But there's a trade opportunity there in the midst of that when we're doing some sideways rotation. And then a lot of price change to meet this high. The 19th we have off. The 20th is a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally, and then we have another big move to the upside, breaking through a resistance level here on the 21st, staying above it briefly, and then breaking back down through with a sharp decline back down. But this may very well be a highest high again. On the 24th, we have usually what I'm seeing more and more frequently with the truce card is that there's a rally into the truce card, and then it's like the rally fails and there's a decline off of the truce price level. Prominent trough on the 25th on a 1-month scale, and a pop and drop there as well as a trade opportunity. On the 26th, we have a crest that we sell off from down 2 through support. We do a U-shaped reversal below that support, come back and reuse it as support. And then we have a resistance level that's highlighted on the 27th that we failed to break through many times before. This is also a cross-reading congruency for the high card, so very, very likely that we have a high for the month here. But it may be that we're seeing the high more than once because of the price swings situation going on with the theme. And then we likely have a drop overnight into the 20th, and then another notable move to the upside. Or there might be some decline early in the day a drop overnight into the 28th with a big move higher out of it. Or there's a decline early in the day on the 28th with a big move to the upside out of it. Sneak preview for the following month of July. There's a resistance level that we declined from and then return to, so there should be some good trade opportunity in there. We're going to talk about that in more detail when we get into the reading for July. Now, I'm going to get into the best trades, as well as what to look for as far as entry and exit into and out of those trades for chart behavior. Or all of that in the paid version. Stay tuned if you got that. Otherwise, let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.